Hey guys, Nexas here. Doing a general flexibility video today. More specifically, flexibility for kicks. So there's going to be a lot of leg stretches, not so much anything, upper body, arms, back, nothing really crazy gymnastic, like back bends or anything that way. Just basic leg stretches that are essentially what I did when I was taking classes, what I still do now, and what I have my students do when I'm teaching them. So the thinking behind it is, if it helps me and the people I teach and the people that train me get higher kicks, it should probably help you guys. So here's what I do to gain and maintain my flexibility for my kicks. And the first thing we do, even though I said we wouldn't do any arm things, I'll just shadow through them really quick, is we do a couple of arm stretches, stuff I remember from, back when I was like 7 and doing tennis for no good reason. I wasn't all that great at it. But we do stuff like that, and then we get into the legs. And the first thing we do is your basic, feet together, bend down, touch your toes, that kind of thing. And that's going to help with your front kick, your rising stretch kick, anything that moves up that way, essentially. And what you want to do is you want feet together, your knees want to be locked out, not bent. I mean, they don't have to be like forcefully intense, I'm not going to move these knees. Just straight, the straighter you are with your legs, the better stretch you're going to get. Slowly bend your way down, and just kind of find somewhere to be. If you can only get down here to your ankles, that's fine. If you can get knuckles to the floor, great. Wherever you get, stay there. Don't bounce, don't fidget around, just kind of stay there, take deep breaths, and just kind of let that stretch relax a bit for a while. Going off of that, we'd get back up, we'd have the right cross over the left, then back down, so you'd focus on that left leg. When you're doing this one, your right knee can bend. It's just kind of here to make sure the left leg stays straight and you get a more intense stretch on that leg. Same thing, switching to the other side, back over. So from there, what we would go into is, I honestly had no idea what to call these, but essentially the process for getting there is you pull one leg out and you kind of sink your hips down in this direction and try to keep your foot flat. It's a weird thing to say. I'll just show you what I mean. You're here and you kind of collapse down into it. And you can see my foot is flat on the ground, this heel on the ground, foot pointed up, and where you're getting the stretch is down through here. Instead of kind of in the back of your leg, it's more around the groin area. That'll help you with like roundhouse kicks and stuff like that, things that pull you up that direction. So you have one here, you just kind of hold it. Ideally, you don't want your hands to help you out at all. It's also a good balance thing. You can just stay here, floating in space, then you switch sides, where you come up to the center and kind of fold down the other way, foot still flat, and kind of hold those for a bit. Now, the next one is the one that you always get people complaining about. They groan whenever we have to move up here. Because you come to the center, kind of wait for a little bit, and then you slide yourself out, and you go into the splits. Or the closest approximation of the splits you can manage. Now, people ask me how I got here. I didn't get here with hard work. I actually got here from a fluke accident when I was like 6. Long story short, I was running around in the kitchen and Mom had just cleaned the floor, slipped, and I kind of ended up here. So ever since then, I've just been able to do this. So I feel slightly bad when I'm teaching people and they start out here and are in pain, and I'm just kind of sitting here like it's nothing at all. But after you get here, and this isn't enough, or whatever reason you can't get your legs far back enough to get a stretch out of it, what you can do is you can try and keep these feet up and just kind of walk forward, and you'll get more of a stretch through here. Alright, back to standing up. Now, working towards a bit of a wrap-up for this whole stretching thing, some of the basic kicks themselves can be used as good stretches. Obviously, rising stretch kick, it's in its name, stretch kick. And what people don't think about a lot is the inside-outside and outside-inside kicks. These kind of crescent kicks. These guys. Getting that circle and getting that circle to keep being a circle, going up and around, really helps out with stretching muscles up through here and just around the hip, giving you a bit more mobility wherever you need to be. So I would say run those, focus on keeping your legs straight, because if you bend up, you can get like this illusion of getting a circle when you're really not. It's not the same as when you're trying to keep your legs straight. And before I finish this off completely, I had a guy ask me about kick chamber height and how to improve that. And for those of you who are not familiar with that term or just haven't heard it before, a kick chamber is essentially the step, if I'm using a front kick, right here, where everything's bound up tight, right before you would shoot out into a kick. That's called your chamber. So, front kick chamber, side kick chamber, roundhouse chamber, they're all there kind of folded up right before you would shoot out. And I thought about it, and one, obviously just doing the kicks helps. I'm sure you already knew that. These stretches that I ran through definitely help. But focusing more on the chamber itself, I came to one thing that kind of stuck out in my head, at least for front kick and side kick chambers, is this other kind of stretch balance exercise that we would do. And essentially, get yourself on one leg, pull your leg up in kind of a front kick chamber, both hands here, and just kind of pull it up towards. And your end goal essentially is to have knee to your shoulder and just kind of be bound up here. And I find that since I can do this without really thinking about it, it doesn't hurt me, it's just kind of hard to manage with the hands, then when I pull away, I have a pretty high chamber. And I think doing this stretch a lot is one of the chief reasons that I've got this high front kick chamber and essentially high side kick chamber, because they're the exact same thing, except your foot's flat. So, if you want to improve those chamber heights, I would say do this. And again, like with all the other stretches, if you can only get here your first time, whatever. As long as you're feeling a stretch through, works just fine. And you'll slowly get higher and higher and higher, and you'll go this way. Same deal with the right side. I'm not quite as good on my right. I mean, I can get there, but I feel it a lot more. And when I let go, I drop just a bit more than my left does. So you do those. Continuing that little sequence of stretches, I guess. So you'd start up here. You'd straighten out. Come back to this. And this will stretch up kind of through here, a little bit on an angle. You want to have your knee and ankle about the same height, and you just kind of pull them up as high as you can get. From there, straighten out again. You'd be here in kind of a roundhouse chamber thing. This is where the roundhouse comes in. Make sure knees pointed up. Whoop. If you have a guess, it's kind of hard to do while talking to the camera. So make sure your knee is pointed up, not down here where a lot of people stretch to get through this way. We're working on kicks, knees pointed up, and then you would turn kind of on your foot. You would shift in whatever direction your knee is pointing, just to kind of get that extra balance. So do those on both sides. Hopefully that will help out both flexibility, kick height, just balance in general for kicking. Kickers like us, we tend to stay on one foot a lot of the time just because we're throwing strikes at people. Guys, I can't talk this much for this long. It's not good for my health. Alright, so that's pretty much everything for now. I'm sure at some point down the road I'll remember more, or I'll learn something, or I'll see something and have to try it, and I'll probably make another flexibility video. But for right now, that's the most I've got to give you. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.